Hello everyone and welcome back to Paintings by Penelope. Now, as an art lover, I don't just love making art, I also like to see what other artists are doing. And so I was actually watching a video recently where they were talking about Silicoil jars. It's a lot of really good tips, except for one. What they said they liked most about Silicoil jars is how easy it made it to wash your brushes, and then when the thing gets full, you just toss it. What? Are you kidding me? You never have to toss those. One jar can last forever, provided that you don't drop it on a concrete floor because it's a little bit slippery. Yeah, I've totally done that. So today I'm going to share a little tip and trick with you that I learned from my teacher. Joyce was born in 1927, and so she really had all these great tips and tricks to be frugal. So I guess this could be a Depression era hack. So let's go into it. These jars are jars that I have poured my turpentine into after use. And as you can see, there's a ton of gunk at the bottom. And I have a few more jars as I like to rotate them and let them all settle. Just simply swirl it around, give it a little jostle, and then pour it into your jar. I'm going to let that sit in there for who knows how long until it has completely let all of the gunk go to the bottom, and at which point when I paint again I'll be using this jar of turp and I'll put it back in the Silicoil. Now, as you can see, my Silicoil is dirty, but it doesn't have a whole layer of gunk on the bottom. This one jar will last forever. You really don't have to continue buying more of those jars. I noticed there's a lot of other artists out there who talk about how they wash their brushes. I wash my brushes the way that my teacher taught me. And there's one part of it that I think is a little unusual compared to most people. First, I wipe them off onto a paper towel. And then of course I use my Silicoil, and I really try to get as much of that paint out as possible. Once I'm done with that process, I take that turpentine, I pour it into the jar, where I will let all of that paint settle to the bottom. Then I take some soap without any perfumes, no dyes, just something that's going to be very mild. Now, my teacher's solution was to take that soap and wrap it in a paper towel. However, I started to reload the brush cleaner and preserver bottle with the soap. And of course, you just keep washing until all the paint is out. Once I'm done with that part of the process, I will dry off my brush as much as possible with a paper towel or a clean rag. Now, this is the step where it might be really strange to some people. In order to condition or protect my brush, I use, not blueberry jam, extra light olive oil. Now, obviously, you're working with oils and turpentine. You don't want your brush to completely dry out and fray, and extra light olive oil actually works really well in order to preserve and protect your brushes. The best thing about learning from someone who lived through the Great Depression is that they have all of these tips and these tricks that really don't cost any extra money, because it's usually with things you have lying around the house or a way to make what you have last even longer. If you're wondering, does this method really work? Yes, it does. Every single one of my brushes, with the exception of one or two that I bought recently, are nearly 20 years old. They are actually in pretty good condition. Now, before any of you start attacking the comments on why I have two Silicoil jars when I claim you only need one, let me just say that I bought this one after I smashed my original on that concrete floor, and this one I inherited from my art teacher shortly before she died, along with most of her other art gear. Can't say nothing now. Sentimental value. Oh, you also may have noticed something different in the studio. That's a video for another day as well. I'll see you next time.